I'm really pleased we have such a great crowd to hear Dr. Johnson speak. As chairperson of the Cuyahoga Community College Foundation Board, I'm sure I'm a little biased, but I don't think anybody would argue that we've been very fortunate and blessed to have two leaders of this school who have been so strong advocates for the college and the community. Dr. Jerry Sue Thornton, who I think is here somewhere. Where's Jerry Sue? For so many years, we all love Jerry Sue, and now Dr. Alex Johnson. We're very fortunate to have two such great leaders here in our community. So to properly introduce Alex as our speaker tonight, I'm going to introduce Jerry Kelsheimer. And Jerry moved to Cleveland in 2001. He's been very active in civic affairs since his arrival. In 2010, he joined Fifth Third Bank as the Managing Director of Strategic Planning. And a year later, he was promoted to his current position of President and CEO of Fifth Third Bank of Northeast Ohio. He serves on a number of boards. I think most of them I'm on with him, so we see each other a lot. And since 2012, he's been the chairperson of the Cuyahoga Community College Board. His bank, for many of you probably know if you've come to our scholarship luncheons, they're incredible. His bank has graciously been the sponsor of the last four. And you might not know that those four luncheons have raised over $5 million for scholarships for students at Cuyahoga Community College. So with that, to introduce our speaker, Jerry Kelsheimer.
Thank you, Rick. Just don't mess up this laptop. I got the toughest job I've got tonight is to make sure I play a video here in about 3 minutes. Hey, I am very proud to be a part. Consider myself a part of the Tri-C family, and I'm also proud and privileged tonight to have the opportunity to introduce our speaker, Dr. Alex Johnson. As last week we celebrated LeBron's return to Cleveland, Dr. Johnson was Tri-C's 2013 homecoming story. Having once served in a role of president of Tri-Ci's Metropolitan Campus, he left, accomplished great things elsewhere, and returned to us just a year or so ago. Read a few excerpts from his bio. Since becoming president in July 2013, Dr. Johnson has promoted access, equity, success, and completion for the nearly 60,000 credit and non-credit students. I'll say that again, 60,000 credit and non-credit students who attend Tri-C's 4 campuses here in Northeast Ohio. Incredibly active in our community, Dr. Johnson serves on a number of boards: United Way of Greater Cleveland, Hospice of the Western Reserve, Northeast Ohio Council for Higher Education, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and Museum, IdeaStream, Playhouse Square, Magnet, and the Greater Cleveland Partnership. Also active nationally, he's on the boards of the Community College Survey of Student Engagement and the Association of American Colleges and Universities. He is the recipient of awards and honors too numerous to mention, but we're proud of you for all of your many accomplishments, Dr. Johnson. His further background, prior to coming back to Tri-C, which is Ohio's largest community college, Dr. Johnson served as president of the Community College of Allegheny County in Pittsburgh. He also served a 2-year term as president of Pennsylvania's Commission for Community Colleges and was on the Governor's Advisory Commission on post-secondary education. Also was previously chancellor of Delgado Community College in New Orleans. Now these details mentioned, I'll finish with just a brief comment on the man himself. Having had the opportunity to meet him, listen to him as he was interviewing for the important role that he holds today, he made a number of things just absolutely clear to our Tri-C Search Committee that I think are worth sharing. Number one, students and their success matter to him in a very personal way. I appreciate that about you, Dr. Johnson. Number two, he believes, and I know continues to, that engaged faculty and staff are foundational elements of the educational process in ensuring a sound institution. And finally, something that I know is relevant to all of us in this room, he clearly committed to and impressed me as somebody that would responsibly run the business affairs at Tri-C, as he believes our community deserves that. And to a person, anybody that spent time with Dr. Johnson, I know would say you can't leave a conversation with him without knowing how much he cares about our students and student success and completion. Can't make a trip across the campus with him without pulling him away from students of any age. And regarding the faculty and staff, and I know this isn't always the case in the academic realm. It is for many of us in business, but I've watched him institute measures to engage our broad and diverse team in training, leadership development, meritorious reward system, engagement goals and measures, amongst other things, and driving a culture that is, I believe, appropriately performance-based. And his connection with their team is incredibly inspiring and motivating. And lastly, in what's been a difficult environment relative to funding for higher education, he has literally cut millions of dollars in expenses while managing tuition costs and our programming to ensure that we serve our corporate community and the citizens of our county so very well. His position at the college fiscally puts me in a place where I can proudly support our current levy request and ask each of you to consider doing the same. Now, for my toughest act of the day, I'm going to cue a video, and then Dr. Johnson is going to come up here in just a moment. Hopefully something's going to happen here.
I bet you think you know Cuyahoga Community College. Tri-C opened its doors on September 23, 1963, in the old Brownell Junior High building on East 14th Street. It was the largest opening of a community college in history. Over the next 10 years, the college grew to include the Metropolitan Campus, the Western Campus in Parma, and the Eastern Campus in Highland Hills. The Unified Technology Center opened soon afterward, just adjacent to the Metro Campus. This is what encompassed the original Tri-C model. Now, let me introduce you to what Cuyahoga Community College offers in 2014. Tri-C now offers 2 corporate college locations, the West Shore Campus, the Hospitality Management Center on Public Square, the Center for Creative Arts, the Advanced Technology Training Center, and the expanded Public Safety Training Center for police and firefighters. We're proud to offer more than 140 degree and certificate programs. These include a strong focus on nursing and health careers, science, business, engineering, and advanced manufacturing. Tri-C works closely with the business community and has developed strong partnerships with thousands of Northeast Ohio businesses, including many of you. And did you know that as an economic engine, Tri-C positively impacts Cuyahoga County's economy by $147 million each year? Tri-C annually presents the Presidential Scholarship Luncheon, featuring renowned speakers such as President George W. Bush. Throughout its 22-year history, the luncheon has raised more than $15 million for student scholarships. The college has demonstrated a strong continuity of leadership throughout its 51-year history. Tri-C's 4th president, Dr. Alex Johnson, is committed to building on the high standard of excellence that Tri-C has established. Under his leadership, the college is redoubling its focus on student success and completion, moving forward to even greater achievements. This is just a glimpse of what Cuyahoga Community College offers to the citizens and the business community of Northeast Ohio. And with the community's support, Cuyahoga Community College will continue to be the place where futures begin.
You're done with the computer, right? I'm just going to shut the lid. Good evening. First of all, let me thank all of you for the honor of appearing before such a distinguished group of individuals that as I look around the room that I have gotten to know on both an individual and collective basis. I have learned from you all about Cleveland today, and I am benefiting from those close associations that we are continuing to develop. I would be remiss if I did not recognize the individuals that make life for me at our institution a little bit easier. They're members of the Tri-C team. I'd like for them to please stand and receive well-deserved acknowledgement. They truly represent the best that Tri-C has to offer. I am so thankful for my good friends Rick Chiricosta and also Jared Kelsheimer. Many of you already know that Rick has been associated with the college for a number of years, currently as the chair of our foundation board. And of course, Jerry is a member of our foundation board and the chair of our trustees. I will share with you, if you did not know, that Rick is going to be a pawpaw for the first time. His son and daughter-in-law expecting their first child the Friday after November. You're going to spoil that child rotten, my friend. I'm sure she has. If anything goes awry with my speech tonight, I will just share with you that it is Dan Walsh's fault. I conferred with him and I asked for his advice on what I should do, and he certainly gave me some pointers. Have you done this before? Oh my God. I am in trouble. As you can see from the video, Cuyahoga Community College has a rich history of educational innovation and collaboration with the community. And as the college's fourth president, I'm proud to build upon that history in distinct ways that provide education and career attainment for the current generation. I will share with you, however, that this generation in our region and across the nation faces many challenges. Just a few statistics that I'm sure you are familiar with. Today, the educational attainment of Americans aged 25 through 34 is ranked 14th among 39 developing countries. At the state level, Ohio is ranked 38th in degree completion. And in Cleveland, the skills gap means that only 6 in 10 workers are prepared for today's high-skill, high-wage jobs. And then the poor and minority communities of the city, that ratio is 1 in 10. So unless we can do something to improve this environment, America's ingenuity, its innovation, and competitive edge are jeopardized. And without a trained and educated workforce, the economic vitality of the region and our nation may be threatened as well. And beneath the statistics, on a personal level, millions of Americans have dreams of a better future that will be unfairly deferred. Now, in response to this new form of a nation at risk, Tri-C is striving to increase educational attainment by redesigning, reinventing, and resetting the college experience. This entails collaborating with our K-12 partners, including the Cleveland Metropolitan School District and other local districts, to more closely align high school and college coursework through initiatives like the Higher Education Compact and our College Pathway programs. And already we have placed 6 student success centers in high schools across the city. And of course, I'm pleased to be directly involved in these and other efforts as an ex officio member of the CMSD School Board, along with CSU President Ron Berkman. But once students arrive at Tri-C, mandatory and intentional programs in and out of the classroom ensure that they connect with the college, take responsibility for their own education, and have the tools they require to succeed. For example, taking a lead from our four-year counterparts represented by the president of Akron, Scott Scarborough. This year, we have introduced the Comprehensive First Year Experience Program that provides a mandatory student success course for all first-time students. We have launched mandatory test prep and a bridge program in English and mathematics that enables students to move quickly to college-level coursework. And let me tell you, we are seeing some remarkable and impressive results. And we are seeking to reduce the financial barriers to education through programs like our tuition guarantee, our textbook affordability program, the RTA U-Pass, and an incentive program for students that complete at least 15 credit hours per term, with a certain GPA, of course. And inspired by the example of the Cleveland Clinic and others, we have established benchmarks for our student success efforts, and we will be sharing our progress toward our goals in a transparent manner with our colleagues and the broader community. Now, none of this would be possible without a strong collaborative environment between our faculty and administration, and Jerry has already alluded to that. What we do is seek to solve difficult problems together and rejoice together over our successes. But our partnerships and our work just don't end there. Just last month, Tom Beer and Charlie Post of Cleveland State University released a report, Cuyahoga's County Tax Base Challenge, Renewing and Redeveloping Core Communities. And what they said was, Cuyahoga's economic future rests squarely on creating new property values, new growth, new jobs in the city of Cleveland and inner suburbs. There is no alternative. And in order to address the critical challenges of our region's workforce, Tri-C is working closely with employers to provide students with degrees and certificates that have what we call labor market value. Please be reminded that more than 85% of our graduates live and work in our region, and Tri-C has prepared them for careers in advanced manufacturing, business, healthcare, first response, and many other fields. And we have committed to these fields through the construction of specialized centers, including the recently dedicated Public Safety Training Center at our Weston campus. Nowhere is our commitment to our workforce more evident than in the health careers. Tri-C is first in Ohio and 7th nationally in awarding associate degrees in nursing. And I will remind you that in August, the nursing program was granted continuing accreditation status through 2022. The national accreditation signifies that the college's Division of Nursing meets the highest educational standards required by the industry. As the video pointed out, each year Tri-C partners with more than 1,000 employers. Some of them actually are in this room. We train your current workers and you hire our graduates. What a great partnership. We also coordinate with businesses to help them develop through education and venture capital. We are able to do so through partnerships like our much heralded Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses program, which has just graduated its 6th cohort. And we continue to work with educational partners to provide clear and beneficial pathways for Tri-C graduates. Just 2 weeks ago, we announced the new RN to BSN Continuum program with Cleveland State University, which allows licensed registered nurses from Tri-C to enter the workforce and earn an advanced degree simultaneously. We're also working with CSU to transform the campus district into an educational corridor connecting the community and facilitating the flow of students and ideas between our institutions, which have stood side by side for more than 50 years. This is a great time in Cleveland. We have won the 2016 RNC convention. Where's John? I know he is excited about that still, John Penny. Downtown and community revitalization has already made great strides. The lighting of the chandelier in Playhouse Square symbolizes a reignited passion for the arts and entertainment. This is just part of the evidence that Greater Cleveland is enjoying a resurgence. But this has happened before. Please remember that in the early 90s, we experienced a similar promising beginning that did not bear sufficient fruit. Learning from this experience, we must ensure that the current revitalization extends to the entire community and is built upon a solid foundation, especially a skilled and educated workforce. I'm privileged to be part of this resurgence. With the Greater Cleveland Partnership, Team NEO, and Magnet that set strategy for advancing regional job growth, increasing per capita income, growing the regional economy, and expanding labor force participation. Tri-C stands ready to move our region to these goals. And in fact, with our partners, we are already doing so, one student at a time. Now, I feel particular commitment to our students, as Jerry has already pointed out, because I benefited from the same sort of valuable, accessible education that Tri-C provides. It was my opportunity to attend a small, historically black college in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, which set me on the educational journey that has led me here today. On my way, my parents, James and Betty Davis, taught me to respect work and to persevere. I was encouraged by my maternal grandparents, Willie and Marion Johnson, to honor educational excellence and civic engagement. My grandmother earned a GED when she was 64 years old. My grandfather, despite physical disabilities, would put on his best suit and with cane in hand, walk 5 miles to cast his ballot. His focus on civic engagement, his belief in the power of the poll is particularly meaningful to me tonight. As you know, it's already been pointed out, tomorrow Tri-C will go before the citizens to ask for their continued support of our operating levy, Issue 6. Since 1963, our college has enjoyed overwhelming support from our community. We must continue this most important partnership to ensure that we are, together, providing what our county needs. We must guarantee that new generations of students, like nearly 1 million before them, pass through Tri-C's doors ready for productive careers in civic leadership. If we can do this, we will prove that the current resurgence of Cleveland is not an anomaly. It is not a dream. It is not just another hopeful promise. This is the future of Cleveland. And with your continued support, Tri-C will continue to be where this future begins. Thank you all so very much, and I'm glad to take any questions that you might have. Yes, sir.
I'm John from Breakthrough Schools.
Okay.
And I'm a guest here at Lee Friedman. Thank you, Lee. But my question is this. So I saw you interview President Bush at the big fundraiser, which was awesome.
Thank you.
And my question is this. What can we do as educators, or a bigger question is, what can we do
Well, I would invite anybody in the room to answer that question because I think we've all discussed that in some way, shape, or form, but I believe very, very strongly that we need to, as they develop their academic skills, we need to also introduce them to the world of work and to help them understand the variety of choices and opportunities that they have to enrich their lives, both economically and personally. We have done that through many of our programs at Tri-C and through our student success centers. Coupled with the focus on career orientation, we're making certain that they are prepared once they go to college to arrive prepared to take college level coursework. One of the difficult situations that a lot of colleges find themselves in right now is that they have to provide supplemental and remedial education that would allow a student to be prepared at some point in time for college level coursework. We cannot allow that to happen anymore. Students have to come to us prepared for the workforce. And the businesses have a very important role in that regard. Through internships when students are in high school that introduce them to the world of work, how to act on the job, for example, and then to partner with the community college so that they develop fully the skills that they need in order to be successful. We're doing that in a lot of different ways, but one example I will share with you is that the mayor has asked us to work directly with the 4 technical high schools, including Max Hayes, to identify the core curriculum for the high school students, and then to have that curriculum and the coursework actually articulate for college credit, which means that when students come to us, they have a firm foundation. Some of them even have certificates that they can use in the workforce, and then of course they continue their education. But more work needs to be done in that regard, and it is a partnership among the institutions of higher education, the business community, and also the schools. Jim?
Could you talk about the challenges of completion and what the college might be doing strategically to focus on completion once you get the students on campus?
Yes. We have introduced a lot of measures to ensure that more students who come to the institution actually graduate in a timely manner. We have mandatory orientations and convocation. I talked about the mandatory first year experience program, and we also have what we call intentional pathways. So any student that comes to us is part of what we call a learning community. And then once they figure out exactly what it is they want to do, then we channel them into our career programs or either our transfer programs. We are working diligently to increase our graduation rate. We are working so that students actually earn a degree before they transfer, because that's a big issue for us. If students stayed with us throughout the 2-year period or 3-year period, then our graduation rate would be somewhere around 44%. The other thing that I will share with you is that we have increased significantly the number of students that graduate from the institution. 2 or 3 years ago, we were around 2,700 students. This past year, we graduated a historic high of 3,700 students. Our goal by 2020 is to have that average at 4,500 students. So we will be sharing with the community at large our benchmarks, our dashboards, to help you understand specifically what we're doing to promote completion and to ensure that students graduate in a more timely manner. Yes, sir.
Telling my friend John here, because not every student has the background or the incentive to go to college. And we have a great need, particularly in this community, skilled tradesmen, if you will.
Yes.
The great tradition that we've had in this community. What is Tri-C doing with respect to providing those skills?
Well, we've done a number of things, and we recognize that individuals come to us not necessarily looking to earn a degree, but some type of certificate of value that gets them into the workforce in a more timely fashion. We're working very, very closely with specific businesses to identify specific generic skill sets that students can apply in the workforce, and then we depend on the businesses to help us identify the core competencies that are required for that particular business. We have relationships with 1,000 different companies that we train individuals for, and they hire. A lot of those are smaller manufacturers, but what we try to do is create a generic student so that that student has the capability of going to any one of these places. We are fortunate indeed to have hired a brand new executive vice president who comes to us from Northern Virginia Community College with a 35-year record of attainment in this area, not only at the institution, but in corporate America. So we've got I think we've done a reasonable job to this period, but we've got to do more. Just another statistic that I will share with you, we've increased the enrollment in our non-credit program because of the availability of our certificate programs by 70% over last year. And a lot of those individuals are people who are currently employed and who want to upgrade their skills. Some of them are high school students who are enrolled in our STEM programs and academies. So we are, I think, making a monumental effort to reach individuals who can benefit from the type of programs and services that we can offer, particularly in our non-credit component. But once again, it will require us to work more closely with businesses. The other thing I will share with you is that we do it in partnership. Magnet, for example, is one of those organizations that we work in to identify specific skill sets that students are required in order to be successful. But we've got a lot more work to do in that regard. Adam?
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Affordability is such a challenge for many of the students who want to access Tri-C. Can you talk about the relative cost of a credit hour at Tri-C versus a four-year public and private institution so these folks understand sort of the value proposition?
The difference, quite honestly, in terms of the tuition between Tri-C and basically a publicly supported four-year institution is about 400%. Our tuition is a little low, tuition and fees combined is a little over $100 per credit hour. A student at Tri-C pays about 30% of what it actually costs to educate them. On a national basis, it's 55 or 60%. So through efforts to maintain costs and to continue having the experience affordable, we have relied on the community support. That's why this levy, and to a certain extent, is so important. That levy allows us access to affordable education. It allows us to have programs and opportunities for students who want to transfer on to four-year institutions, and it's vitally important for creating this robust workforce. The other thing that we've done, I think I alluded to it in my remarks this evening, is that we've implemented a lot of different programs designed to promote continued affordability. A student who comes to us can actually get free transportation, not only to the college, but throughout the community. We have invested in textbooks so that they continue to be affordable. For the student who signs a contract and does well, their tuition rate will be the same thing, will be the same for at least 3 years as they continue their education at Tri-C. And this coming spring or fall, Craig, I think, whenever it is, we're introducing a new incentive program. So if you take 15 credit hours and you earn a certain GPA, we will reduce your tuition for the upcoming semesters by a certain percentage. We haven't figured that out yet, but those are the kinds of things that we are doing to not only maintain the tuition costs, but ensure that students who want to benefit from the power and the value of a Tri-C education can actually do so. Anyone else? Thank you very much, Rick.
We have our traditional 50 Club gift for Alex. Alex, thank you very much for an enlightening talk.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
I just want to say how proud I am to be associated with Alex and everybody at Tri-C. It's an organization we all ought to be very proud of in this community. I think we all know that, but I don't know if we really know it. It's just a great organization. I'm really proud to be associated with it.